turned that ambulance away. Why? Because if they open up these gates all the way, like they did on Friday, then they're afraid people are going to kind of rush through.
Okay, so things are heating up ever since the mayor of Newark, New Jersey has been arrested by Homeland Security for trespassing. Okay, so more people have been arrested at Delaney Hall, but this time, protesters. Basically, they were blocking off the front gates of the ICE detention center in Newark, New Jersey, blocking off all operations, putting everyone in danger, to include blocking off an ambulance. We will get into all of this. Here we go.
This is a group from Faith in New Jersey and Faith in Action who have gotten together, created a human chain outside this Delaney detention facility in Newark, which was the subject of a, quote, I guess, oversight visit by a couple of members of Congress on Friday that ended in a pushing and shoving match.
Okay, so Homeland Security did not know what to do. Before we get to the arrests of the protesters, Homeland Security allowed for these protesters to pretty much block off the gate for hours.
We say no, we say no, we say no, we say no. Fascism's got to go.
And to show you how lenient Homeland Security was, even an ambulance was not allowed to pass through the gate.
And so we've seen at least 2 ambulances try to pull into this ICE detention facility here in Newark, New Jersey. One was right here through these gates, and they turned that ambulance away. Why? Because if they open up these gates all the way, like they did on Friday, then they're afraid people are going to kind of rush through. So right now you're looking at a group of people who have been out here for a few hours that are kind of blocking the gates. They're saying they're not going to allow anybody to come back in. These are clergy members who they say are trying to stick up for whoever is inside of this ICE detention facility.
So again, at this point, nobody has been arrested. However, now we start to get to the shift change where the gate has to open, and this is where things start to escalate a little more.
Yeah, tense moments here at the ICE detention facility, especially because there's a shift change happening with immigration officials. Let's take you over here where you see those protesters locking arms in protest of this detention facility, and you have police standing by there. We've seen this play out a few times. Darren, if you pan to the left, you can see there are cars of employees waiting to exit. We've seen them forcibly move the protesters a few times now, but not make arrests to get the...
Okay, so now the front gate is going to open, and now we're going to start seeing a lot of escalation and people being arrested. You have to understand this. A lot of people don't get it. During a shift change, this is when things are very, very vulnerable. Think about all of those prison escape movies or prison escape documentaries. They all happen during a shift change, or they happen really late at night when people are not paying attention. So this is why Homeland Security and local law enforcement, they're not messing around. Inside of this facility, and we'll get to that later, are the worst of the worst. And when you're not paying attention to them, that is a very vulnerable situation for the entire community as well.
I'm not touching it.
Sorry. What are you doing? Yes, she didn't do anything. What are you doing?
Now, one thing I do want to point out, it's Newark, New Jersey Police Department that is arresting these protesters, not Homeland Security. I also want to point this out. Watch this clip and look how much more time they were given as far as move out of the way. They even opened the gate all the way open and still gave them another chance.
Communities, that's what you should know. Don't let them out.
Sir, sir.
What side? Close it. You need to close it. Move up a little bit. They're not moving.
Sir, I need you to back up, sir. I need you to back up.
Hands up, hands up, hands up. Hands up.
You ain't family, sir. Put your hands on my nose. No, you touch me.
Watch your hands.
No, he fucking touched me. Put your hands on my nose.
Hands off, hands off. De-escalate.
Which side are you on, my people? Which side are you on?
Now, as predicted, as soon as people start getting handcuffed, it's total chaos, which is probably why these protests lasted so long, because they were being peaceful, but then once you arrest them, it's not that peaceful.
Yeah, she's doing
She didn't do anything.
What are you doing? Stay over here. Yo, pay attention. Look. Yo, miss.
He's not getting his phone.
No.
Back up. Back up.
I can't. Hold on. Excuse me.
Now, this is the part where everybody is scratching their heads. Why are you protesting Delaney Hall when the members of Congress who walk through Delaney Hall, this is what they had to say?
Well, Lawrence, you'll probably remember that part of the reason that they were protesting apparently is because they were saying we didn't have the right permitting, we didn't have the right inspection, which is absolutely false. We had all the right permitting, all the right fire code inspection, electrical inspection, safety inspection. But in a press conference afterward, just showcasing that they want their 15 minutes of fame, they actually said that the conditions in the facility were quite good and up to snuff. So it's pathetic, and we won't stand for this in this administration.
I mean, I really want you to think about that. Again, I have no problem if you want to protest. That is our right. Yet you are protesting a facility that passed code, and the members of Congress who might be arrested as well had to come out and say, well, the facility is okay. Some of the elevators don't work and there are some dirty spots, but overall it's okay. Yet the facility is still being protested.
And I'll tell you this, I can guarantee you this facility has higher detention standards than any New Jersey facility. This facility has highest detention standards in the industry. You compare that to any jail in New Jersey and you'd be shocked how high these detention standards are.
To the steady beat of a drum, religious leaders from around the tri-state marched toward the Delaney Hall Immigration Detention Facility. They sang freedom songs as they locked arms in front of the gates.
Delaney Hall is an unlawful detention facility that has disappeared our neighbors.
Trucks moving in and out of the busy port of Newark honked their support. The reverends and rabbis leaned on their faith while demanding freedom for those being held inside.
The Jewish people know a little something about what it's like to be deported.
Shut it down! Shut it down!
Now, I was really curious, and I'm sure you guys are, what does the mayor have to say about all of this? Well, absolutely nothing. I cannot find anything where he has made comment, where he's talking about these protesters. He's posted about himself, but then when you go and see his most recent status, and again, this has been happening for hours now, many people have been arrested, he's talking about a debate.
Anyone's breaking the law in this situation, it's not members of Congress, it's the Department of Homeland Security. It's people like Tom Homan and Secretary Kristi Noem. You lay a finger on someone, on Representative Bonnie Watson Coleman, on Representative, or any of the representatives that were there, you lay a finger on them, we are going to have a problem.
In fact, you can hardly find anyone talking about the protesters who have been arrested. Something else I want to point out is many people are actually not defending the mayor of Newark, New Jersey. They are sticking up for the members of Congress.
I think that breaking the law in defense of people who broke the law by virtue of being in this country is viewed as a way to get ahead in the Democratic primary for the gubernatorial race in New Jersey. There's an open primary. Republicans and Democrats are at it right now, and that election is being held this November. And the guy who got arrested, the mayor of Newark, he's a longtime antagonist, and instead of being criticized by people in his party, he's being praised. And guess what else? Got a lot of name ID. And I would bet that his FEC report will show that he got a lot of donations.
Now, for some reason, everyone forgets that the mayor of Newark, New Jersey has already been warned, and one of his staff members have actually been detained for breaching the front gate. This is why Delaney Hall is very careful about these protesters. Check this clip out.
This is a fire official. So why don't the fire officials go to the front? They won't let y'all know anyone. You can come through any entrance, anybody come. No, I understand your question. I know, I understand. You have to move away from your car. It's not going to close. We need you to get out the gate. Go out the gate. They want to make the front. The fire official don't tell that.
Now, that video surfaced about a week before the mayor was arrested. And of course, because the media cycle floods all of these clips and talks about all of these different things, nobody even knows or remembers the mayor's staff has already almost been arrested, and they were warned, do not breach the facility. So as you can see, Homeland Security is actually way more gracious than they are perceived to be by the media.
DHS came out Friday and said point blank, had these members requested a tour, we would have facilitated such tour. And then number two, since then, some Democrats have gotten into the facility and said the conditions are great. So this is all for naught. It is all for, to Dana's point, political posturing.
How much does it cost? How much does it cost to be a Nazi? A Nazi piece of shit.
I was going to the gym and I had to come down here because you people are idiots.
Which side are you on, my people? Which side are you on?
Watch her, watch her.
Get out of the way. Get out of the way. Hey.
Don't touch it, bro. Don't touch it. My people, which side are you on?
Again, there seems to be a lot of confusion as to why this particular protest is happening. I understand people are not happy about the ICE arrest, they're not happy about the location of Delaney Center, but even the members of Congress said everything is working properly, everything is legal, the oversight has been conducted, yet people are protesting to shut down the facility. Where are all of these illegal immigrants going to go? And not only that, some of these people, again, are some of the worst, and many people are pointing out, why are you protesting for them? What if they were re-released back into the community? Is that not dangerous?
This is not the proper way to do it. There's a proper way to conduct oversight. There's a way to make appointments, go in this facility. You don't break into the facility when a bus full of criminals are being, brought into that facility. This is about the safety and security of the employees. This is about the safety and security of the illegal aliens. And it's about the safety and security of the public. You just don't make an entry like that. You don't make an unauthorized entry while they're moving a bus of criminals in the facility. There's a right way and wrong way to do it. And look, I've said from day one, you cannot support ICE. You can go ahead and support sanctuary cities, but you can't cross that line. You can't cross the line of impediment. You can't cross the line of knowingly harboring, concealing an illegal alien. You certainly can't trespass in a facility that's contracted by the U.S. government to house criminals. That'd be like breaking into a state prison, not going through the proper protocols. This creates a huge safety crisis, and these elected politicians know that. This isn't about the due process. This isn't about constitutional rights. This is about politics. They simply don't want these people removed from this country. They don't want immigration enforcement in this country, and that's what it's all about. They can try to hide it all they want with these protests around the facility, but we can continue to do what we're doing. That facility's got some of the worst of the worst. We're keeping President Trump's promise to the American people that elected him for the sole reason of securing the border and removing these public safety threats from the communities. That's exactly what they're going to do. They can stand out and scream all they want. They can trespass, they'll be arrested. If they impede, they'll be arrested. If they knowingly harbor and conceal, they'll be arrested. We're going to do this job for the American people.
Okay, so without a doubt, this is becoming a hot spot for protesters, for anybody who doesn't like Donald Trump, anybody who doesn't like the deportations. And to give you some more context, Newark, New Jersey does have sanctuary laws. So of course people are super upset because there's an expectation, hold on, I'm in a community where we have these laws that are supposed to be protecting people, whether or not they're violent, doesn't make a difference. They're supposed to be protecting them in some aspect. I'm just trying to give you the perspective of the locals, why they're protesting. So yeah, I am expecting more people to be arrested going into Delaney Hall and people protesting Delaney Hall. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for everything. We'll see you all later, and God bless.